Hey guys, welcome to my channel Circuit Creation. I am Yona, your host and coach, and today we'll be doing the question and answers of the second chapter of economics, sectors of the Indian economy. So before we start, let me do a quick recap of what we have learned in this chapter. So, as I hope all of you remember that we started with the three types of sectors, which are the primary sector, the secondary sector, and the tertiary sector. We have also known that the primary sector is an agriculture related sector. The secondary sector is industrial related sector. It can also be known as an industrial sector, and tertiary sector can also be known as the service sector. Then we have learned about that the economic activities of these three different categories are highly interdependent. Then we have done about the examples, right? Then we have started comparing. Then we have started comparing the three sectors, and how the various goods and services, and we count them and know the total production in each sector. Basically, the value of final goods and services produced in each sector during a particular year provides the total production of the sector for that particular year. Then we have learned about the final goods and services, which has we have learned about the differences. Then the historical changes in the sectors we have learned. Then we have learned about the rising importance of of the tertiary sector in production. That why is the tertiary sector has grown so much. Okay. Then we have learned about why most of the people are employed, or where are they employed. We have done with the help of some few graphs. Next, we have learned about underemployed, then labor effort, unemployed, uh, and how they may spend the whole day but earn very little, you know, very little of that thing. And then we have learned about how to create more employment and the right to work, about the MGNREGA 2005, the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. And then we have learned about the organized sector and the unorganized sector, uh, and learned with a help of Kanta and Kamal, the stories of both of them. Okay. Uh, Next, what we have learned is the pros. Next, we have learned about how to protect workers in the unorganized sector. Then we have learned about the public and private sector, which the public sector will not provide, where the public sector will not provide a reasonable cost. And then we have learned about which why there are some activities which the government does not support, why and why not. Then we have learned about the government must spend on these. So, summing it up, we can tell that in this chapter we have looked up at ways of classifying economic activities into some meaningful groups. One way of doing this is to examine whether the activity relates to the primary, secondary, or tertiary sectors. The data for India for the last 30 years shows that while goods and services produced in the tertiary sector contribute the most to GDP. So the employment remains in the primary sector, we have also seen what all can be done for increasing employment opportunities in the country. Another classification is to, consider them and how to whether people are working in organized or unorganized sectors. Then most people are working in the organized sectors and protection is necessary for them. So we also find at the difference how we have looked at the difference between private and sectors public sectors we have seen, and why it is important for public activities to focus on certain areas. We have seen that also. Now let us come to the exercise. We are going to do the question and answers. Okay, so can we start? So, what is the first question? It is said, fill in the blanks using the correct option given in the bracket. So, the first one is employment in the service sector. Employment in the service sector dash increase to the same extent as production. Uh, the options are has or has not. So, employment in the service sector has not. Sorry, I'm really sorry. This has just a second. This is a little too big. Has not. Next, workers in the sector do not produce goods. The options are tertiary and agriculture. So, workers in the tertiary sector do not produce goods. Okay. Next, we have this. Then we have most of the workers in the dash sector enjoy job security. The options are organized and unorganized. So it will be most of the workers in the organized organized sector enjoy job security. Next, a dash proportion of laborers. I hope you can see them well. Okay. Next we have sorry. Next, we have a dash. Proportion of laborers in India are working in organized sector. So we need to write here a large proportion of laborers in India are working in the unorganized sector. Next, cotton is a dash product and cloth is a dash product. So it will be cotton is a natural product and cloth is a manufactured product. Okay, next should we move on? Next we have activities in the primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors are dash. So it will be the activities in the primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors are interdependent. Okay. Next, choose the most appropriate answer. Let's see. Okay, let's take. Okay. Okay, so the sectors are classified into public and private sectors based on the basis of employment conditions or the nature of economic activity or ownership of enterprises or number of workers employed in the enterprise. So the sectors are classified into public and private sectors on the basis of ownership of enterprises. So it is this one. Okay, next one. Production of a commodity, mostly through the natural process, is an activity in dash sector, primary, secondary, tertiary, or information technology. So it will be like in the production of a commodity, mostly through the natural process, is an activity in the primary sector. Next, GDP is the total value of dash produced during a particular year. Uh, all goods and services, or all final goods and services, or all intermediate goods and services, or all intermediate and final goods and services. So GDP is basically the total value of all final goods and services produced during a particular year. Next, is in terms of GDP, the share of tertiary sector in 2013-2014 is between dash percent, 20 to 30, or 30 to 40, or 50 to 60, or 60 to 70. So in terms of GDP, the share of the tertiary sector in 2013 to 2014 is between 50 to 60%. Now let us do this match the following. I'll just write the numbers here. Now, unirrigated land. Uh, First you do it and then I'll do. I'll give you a few seconds. You can stop the video and do it yourself. Okay, I'll be starting. Unirrigated land comes for the construction. Okay, yeah. This is number one, construction. Construction of canals by the government. So unirrigated land is the construction of some possible measures, the problem. Okay, next is low prices for crops. Low prices of crops is this is the problem. So a measure can be of that procurement of food grains by the government. Next, debt burden is a very problematic problem. So possible measure can be banks to provide credit with low interest. It is related to you know the banks debt burdening. Next, no job in the off season. This is a very big problem for the unemployment. So no job in off seasons. A possible measure, just a second, a possible measure can be setting up agro based meals. And the last one is compelled to sell their grains to the local traders soon after harvest. So the answer will be cooperative societies. Okay, next. Next, find the odd one out and say why. Okay, I'll just give you the reasons. I won't write here. Okay, so the first one is, oh, okay, sorry, I have this. A tourist guide, a dhobi, a tailor, or a potter? The answer is a tourist guide. I don't know what is this happening. Okay, okay. So a tourist guide. The tourist guide is an odd option. Why the tourist guide is an odd option? Because you can see that because a tourist guide is appointed by the government department, but a tailor or a dhobi or a potter own their private works. Okay. Next is teacher, doctor, uh, vegetable vendor, or a lawyer. It will be a vegetable vendor. A vegetable vendor. Why a vegetable vendor but not a teacher, doctor, or lawyer? Because the vegetable vendor, he works in the primary sector, while the jobs of a teacher, lawyer, and doctor come under the tertiary sector. Okay. Next one, sportsman, cobbler, soldier, police constable. So the odd one out here is a cobbler. Why a cobbler? A cobbler because he works in the private sector. Why the postman, soldier, and police constable works for the public sector in the or the organized sector. Next, we have the MTNL, Indian Railways, Air India's Jetways, Airways, and All India Radio. What can it be? The odd one out is the Jet Airways. Now, you may ask why the Jet Airways? Because Jet Airways, it is owned by the private company, and MTNL, then Indian Railways, Air India, and All India Radio are owned by the government of India. Okay, next. Next, we have a research scholar look at the working people in the city of Surat and found the following. Okay, so he found this. Just a second. He found this. Okay. Now, what we will do is we will fill in the places. Okay. So let's start this. Okay. Uh, there are three columns here: place of work, nature of employment, percentage of working people. And so first one, it is done for us. And offices and factories registered with the government. It is an organized nature of employment, is organized, and the percentage of working people are 15%. Next, own shops, office, clinics, and marketplaces with formal license. You need to uh, note this formal license. Okay, if not formal license, then it will be in the unorganized, on the shops unorganized. But with the formal license, it is always uh, organized organized sector. Next, next is um, next is people working on the street, construction workers, domestic workers. This is an unorganized uh, nature of employment. It has almost, 20% of percentage of the working people. Next, working in small workshops, usually not registered with the government. You need to remember this, not registered now here. Okay, because in small workshops, they can be, registered or not registered. With that help, we can know that it is an organized, employment or an unorganized employment. Okay, and here it was given a blank space for us. And so I wrote 50. Why 50? Because 15 plus 15 is 30. 30 plus 20 is 50. So the remaining 50% uh, is unorganized in the working in small workshops. Okay, now here the question says that complete the table and what is the percentage of workers in the unorganized sector in this city. So we have, you can see, we have got two unorganized sectors. So it is 50. Okay, let me write 50 plus 70%, which gives us equals, sorry, is 20%, which gives us equals to 70%. Okay, because here you can see 20 plus 50, it is equals to 70%. Okay, so the answer is done. Next we'll move to number 6. Asa, do you think the classification of the, sorry, do you think the classification of the economic activities into primary, secondary and tertiary sector is useful? Then explain why. So let me first explain it to you. The classification of economic activities into primary, secondary, and tertiary sector is useful. Okay, why? As it helps to classify the different occupations that are taken up by the people in the country and how much each sector contributes to the growth of the country. And it is also important because it helps, or it uh, how should I explain this? it helps in asserting uh, that which sector contributes the most in the GDP, and which sector has the scope to employ more people and increase the national income. Okay, so I think I have a place here. Let me write it down here. This is number 6. Okay, so this is the answer. You can see it. I hope you can see it. Okay, next. Next we have next we have number 7. For each of the sectors that we have come across in this chapter, why should one focus on employment and GDP? Could there be other issues which should be examined and discussed? Okay, let's learn about that. So basically, employment and GDP are the two most important factors in the development of a country. So employment and GDP are used to calculate the overall productivity and national income of a country. So, if a country has a high employment rate, its GDP or national income and per capita income will automatically increase. Hence, these are the two things which have been given major emphasis in this chapter. So, other issues that can be examined are healthcare facilities, education, poverty, food production, and nourishment, and many more, but we learn these only. Okay, we have done this. Okay, so this is the answer. I'm trying to make it shorter for you to have. Okay, okay, I'm reading it again for you to understand. First, here are as follows. It is healthcare facilities, then the education, then poverty, then food production, and then nourishment. These are some of the most important factors. Okay, these are some of the most important factors. This is number 7. Next, number 8. Make long list of all kinds of work that you can find adults around you doing for a living. In what way you can classify them? Explain your choice. So first, the activities we can classify as, you know, uh, selling vegetables, then agriculture, cleaning, manufacturing, teaching, and then mining, banking, transportation. Okay, so the activities performed by human beings for a living are classified into three sectors: primary, secondary, and tertiary. When we see people around us, we can classify their employment sector in either of the three classifications. So activities like, you can know, the cleaning, agriculture, selling vegetables are example of the primary sector. Next, manufacturing of goods is an example of the secondary sector. Next, teaching and mining, banking and transportation are all examples of the tertiary sector. Okay, we'll do number 8. Okay, this is number 8. You can take a look at it. Okay, next, number 9 is that how is the tertiary sector different from the other sectors? Illustrate with a few examples. In number 9, the activities that help in the development of the primary and secondary sectors are called tertiary sectors. So these activities are different from the primary and secondary sector activities. So these activities by themselves do not produce a good, but they are an aid or support for the production process. For example, goods that are produced in the primary or secondary sector would need to be transported by trucks or trains and then sold in wholesale and retail shops. So these transportation facilities and shopkeepers come under the tertiary sectors. So they do not produce goods but play a very important role in selling and bringing those goods to the market. Next, let's see. This is number 9. Next, next question number 10. What do you understand by discussed unemployment? Sorry for my mistake. What do you understand by disguised unemployment? Explain with an example each from the urban and rural areas. Okay. The answer for this is that the situation of underemployment where people are apparently working but all of them are made to work less than their potential is called disguised unemployment. In this case, the person considers himself employed but is actually not working. In rural areas where agriculture is the main source of income, this kind of unemployment can be seen often. So, if a piece of land requires only three people to work on it instead of five people are working on it, then the two extra people are said to be in a situation of disguised unemployment. So, in urban areas, disguised unemployment is seen when painters, plumbers, electricians are unable to find work on a daily basis and work way less than their potential. So, this is the answer for number 10. Okay, we have space here. This is number 10. Now, this is the answer for the how the situation of underemployment or disguised employment with an example of the rural and urban areas. Okay, so this is number 10. Next, we learn about how to distinguish, number 11, distinguish between open unemployment and disguised unemployment. So, open unemployment is when a person is willing to work and is educated, but is unable to get a job and work. This kind of unemployment is visible. On the other hand, disguised unemployment is when a person is apparently working, but it is made to work less than his or her potential. And this kind of employment is quite evident in villages where people working as in farms consider themselves employed but actually working less than their potential. This is number 11. This is number 11. Okay. Next, we have number 12. The question is tertiary sector is not playing any significant. Just a second. I just hope this fits. Okay. Okay. So these are the questions we have done till question number 11, right? So now what we are going to do is that we are, let me just change this font so that it's easier. Perfect. Now I just need to move this in here, and now it's done. So now we will be doing question number 12. I hope you can see this. Yeah. And question number 12 says tertiary sector is not playing any significant role. Tertiary sector is not playing a significant role in the development of the Indian economy. Do you agree? Give reasons and support for your answer. Now, I think that this is not really correct because the tertiary sector is playing a very significant role in development of the Indian economy. In the year 2003, the tertiary sector replaced the primary sector as the most producing sector in the country. So, few reasons to support this are that the primary and secondary sectors can only flourish if the tertiary sector is there to support them. Next, the tertiary sector adds up a lot to the national income of the country. Next, education, which is the basis of everything, comes under the tertiary sector. A person working as a teacher comes under the tertiary sector. Next, the this sector provides the maximum employment and opportunities to the people in the country. Okay. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to write it down here. Now we are going to write. I hope this is fine. Okay, so this is the 12th one. Uh, Let's just click this font size. Then, okay, so we have done 12 questions till now. Okay. Next, we will move on to the next page then. Okay. Number 13. Service sectors in India employs two different kinds of people. Who are these? Okay. First, service sector in India employs two different of uh, people. So these people are, first is the highly skilled labor, which includes teacher, bankers, IT officials, etc. These are people are permanently employed, and uh, the second types of people are the less skilled uh, labors, which includes vendors, electricians, plumbers, and etc. These people are not permanently employed. Okay, so we should write about. Okay, this is number 13. Highly skilled laborers. Who, sorry, who are highly skilled in labor and employed, and less skilled laborers who are not permanently employed. Next, after 13, we have a question number 14. Workers are exploited in the unorganized sector. Do you agree with this view? Give reasons in support for your answer. Next, the unorganized sector is characterized by uh, small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. So these or there are rules and regulations, but these are not followed. So jobs here are low paid and not regular. Hence, it is correct to say that workers are exploited and in the unorganized sector because more work is taken from them in comparison to what they are paid, and they have no provisions for extra pay, for overtime, and no medical benefits. So the biggest problem in working in this sector is that there is no job security. It is number 14. Lisa. বুঝতে পারছি না কেন হচ্ছে আচ্ছা ওকে okay so there is no job security, so this is the answer. Next, number 15, how are the activities in the economy classified on the basis of employment conditions? On the basis of employment conditions, the economy can be classified into two sectors: first, organized sector, uh, and the unorganized sector. In the organized sector, the enterprises registered under the government of India who have an on employee friendly environment and are provided with various facilities including high wages. Next is the unorganized sector, small and scattered units which are temporary, and the employees in this sector are paid very less. This is number 15. Okay, so you have understood about the organized sector and the unorganized sector. Next, we'll do question number 16. Okay, so 16 says that compare the employment conditions prevailing the organized and unorganized sectors. So it is in the organized sector, the employees are given higher wages, medical facilities, a healthy working environment, and their jobs are permanent. And they are not liable to look for a new source of income each day. In the unorganized sector, what happens is the wages are low and the employees are exploited. No extra income or for extra time is given, and the wages are low. So the employees are exploited. No extra income for extra time is given. Okay, so this is the answer. So in the unorganized sector, the wages are low and the employees are exploited, so no extra income for extra or extra time is given, and no medical facilities are provided, and the work environment is healthy. Okay, so let's write it down here. This is number 16. After number 16, we get number 17. Now, number 70 says explain the objective of implementing the NREGA 2005. It will be here NGNREGA 2005. I hope you remember this is that act which of Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act of 2005. So let's talk about it. So this National Rural Employment Guarantee Act is, you know, in a year to all those who are in need of work. it also states that in the case of employment not being provided under this act, employment wages will be given to those left unemployed. Additional employment opportunities need to be created for the people in the villages and smaller towns. I think 15 would be good here. Just a second. I think this would be good. So, this is the answer. Uh, so, this is number 17. This is the answer. You can take a look. Next, number 18. Let's see what we can do. Right? Using examples from your area, compare and contrast the activities and functions of private and public sectors. So, in for example, in the private sectors, the assets and industries are owned by individuals, and in the public sector, industries and enterprises are owned by the government. Private sector works to earn profits, and the public sector works to provide facilities to the uh, public and to earn profits. So the common examples of private sector that we can see around us are government banks, post office, municipal hospitals, and the Indian railways. The common examples of private sector that we can see around us is IT companies, malls, multiplexes, etc. This is number 18. Okay, now number 19, I will not tell you because it is said discuss and fill the following table, giving one example each from your area. So you need to, you need to answer this question based on your own observations. So I hope I can write the 18th answer here so that it fits. Okay, after giving this is the 18th answer, and then we'll have next, we'll have the 20th answer. Okay. Give a few examples of public sector activities and explain why the government has taken them up. Okay. So the public sector activities are set for the betterment of the public itself. So the reason of the government that has taken up the public sector is so that the proper facilities can be provided to the people of the country, and banks, transport, irrigation, electricity, water, and all the basic things that are necessary for the people come under the public sector. So providing these facilities to all the citizens, to all its citizens, is the responsibility of the government. So yes, here is the answer of number. This is the answer of number 20. Next, we have number 21. Explain how public sector contributes to the economic development of a nation. So the you see that the public sector is a sector that comes under the employment under the government of India, and the reason of the for the government to take responsibility for this sector is because the basic necessities of people, including water, electricity, irrigation, all fall under this category. So if these departments are left attendant, it will result in the downfall of the economy of a country, and it depends on the development of the people. And if people are deprived from the basic necessities, the country's economic development would be affected, and the government encourages and small and large industries to flourish and provide employment under this section. So this would be the answer, I guess. This is of 21. Yeah, yes. This is 21. We are doing, I suppose. Yes. So the answer is here. Okay, this is number 21. Okay, next. Next, what do we have? Next, we have this question that the workers in the unorganized sector need protection for a few issues, right? For like wages, safety, and health. So we need to explain it with the help of some examples. This is going to be a long type of answer. Okay, let us write it down first. So the answer will be the unorganized sector is characterized by small and scattered units, which are largely outside the control of the government. So there are rules and regulations, but these are not followed. So the workers in the unorganized sector needs protection. So first comes is wages. So the income of workers in the unorganized sector is not fixed, and they are barely able to meet the needs to lead a decent livelihood. Hence, proper and fixed wages should be given to these workers so that they can grow and contribute to the growth of the country. For example, a painter. Uh, a painter only gets paid the wages for the days he works, and on the other days he is jobless and is able to earn nothing. Next is safety. No safety is provided to the workers working in the unorganized sector, because there we is no job security, and anyone can be fired and removed from their work as per requirement to the laborers. For example, a labor working in the construction of a building is left with no work once the construction is complete, and there's no guarantee of getting work again. Health. Health is a very important factor for the growth and development of the country. So the unorganized sector is given no medical security, and if any accident occurs while they are working, the employer is not responsible for their health. For example, there is no sick leave for laborers working on daily wages. Okay, I think I can write the answer here. So this is number 22. Okay, so this is the answer for number 22. This is for number 22. Next, let us see number 23. Now, what does 23 say? 23 says a study in the Ahmedabad found that out of 1,500,000 workers in the city, 1,100,000 worked in the unorganized sector. The total income of the city in this year from 1997 to 1998 was rupees 60,000 million. Out of this, rupees 32,000 million was generated in the organized sector. Present this data as a table. What kind of ways should be thought of for generating more employment in this city? Okay, I don't think I will be able to give you the the table. Okay, I don't think I will be able to give you a table. It is a similarly like this kind of table. It comes under. I can just tell you that the table. What does this table show? That this table shows that the income generated in the unorganized sector is close to 50% of the total income of Ahmedabad. So, in order to increase the employment opportunities for the people, more industries should be set up for proper education. We must be provided to all and proper facilities under the public sector. Next, what we get here is number 24, the last question of today. The following table gives the GDP in rupees or crores by the three sectors. ঠিক আছে? তাহলে we need to give three answers to this. Calculate the share of the three sectors in GDP for 2000 and 2000 and 2013. So the first one comes here as here. Just write the answers here. It is 24. Next is number 2. Write the answers first so that it's easier for you. And now I'm not writing here number 2 that show the data as a bar graph, because I don't think I will be able to. Let me just, if I can. Okay, this is a little big. Okay. I think I got this from somewhere. I don't know. Okay. So this is number 2. Okay. Just let me write it down here. This is for number 24. Okay. First, I'll write down the third answer to this. Third answer, the third question wants that what conclusions can we draw from this bar graph that I have given. The conclusions, we can draw that the conclusion that the share of the tertiary sector in the GDP has increased by 10%. So while that of the primary sector has almost halved. So the secondary sector has grown by about 2% in the last 3 years. So this is the answer. Okay, so this is the answer for number 24. And this is for this is the graph that shows that helps. Okay, I'll write it down here. This is number for number 24, number 2. Okay, so I hope it's done. There's nothing more to do. I'll again show you the answers. Okay, so these are the answers from number 1. This is the fill in the blanks, then choose the correct options. Next, we have the questions. This is number 5. Then the answers for this is number 6, number 7. Then we have this is number 8 and number 9. I'll just show you this. This is 11, 12, 10. This is number 10. This in the next page we have 13, 14, 15, 16. This, this is not. ঠিক আছে? This is quite good. Okay, so this is the answers. These are the answers. I'll give you the full screen. If I can fit. Okay, this is the first answer. This is the first page. This is the second page, and this is the third page. I hope I hope you have seen the pages and enjoyed my class. So hence we have come to the end of the class. Uh, I hope you like this video. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification, because whenever I'm online, you can join me. Thank you and have a nice day and prepare for your exams. Thank you so much.